Country's politics was abuzz in the late afternoon yesterday after the government floated two highly controversial ordinances. The timing of the ordinances, which was later endorsed by the office of the president, could not have been worse, as it has come at a time when the nation is battling against the global COVID-19 pandemic. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. Government comes out with two controversial ordinances, making it easier for party to split, only two constitutional council members able to clinch the council's decisions. Differences emerged within the ruling Nepal Communist Party following the ordinances on political party. The Dahal faction and opposition parties say the decision is against democratic norms. The global death toll from COVID-19 crosses 170,000, confirmed cases exceeds 2.47 million, while over 646,000 recover from the virus. And oil prices in the US turns negative for the first time in its history. Oil producers are paying buyers to take the commodity off their hands over fears that storage capacity could run out. President Bidya Devi Bhandari endorsed two separate ordinances yesterday evening at the recommendation of the Council of Ministers. The first ordinance is on amendment in the existing Political Party Act, paving way for the political parties to split easier if they are willing to part their ways. As per the second ordinance, the government can hold a meeting of the Constitutional Council without the participation of the leader of the main opposition party. The ordinance on political party has now provisioned any party to split with at least 40% in the Central Committee or Parliamentary Party. Earlier, 40% was required in both the Central Committee and Parliamentary Party for a party to split. According to the ordinance on Constitutional Council, all the decisions can now be taken based on majority votes of 3 Constitutional Council members. Likewise, only 2 members of the Council can recommend for the appointment of Chief Justice and other constitutional office bearers. The Constitutional Council comprises Chief Justice, main opposition party leader, House Speaker, National Assembly and Deputy Speaker as its members. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli had tried to amend the provision on the Constitutional Council earlier as well, deeming that the main opposition party can create hindrances in the decisions of his liking. However, the amendment proposal had not been taken to the cabinet due to the widespread objections. The Prime Minister came up with the ordinances yesterday to materialize his long-standing objective. The government's two controversial ordinances have come at a time when the differences between Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Executive Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal, according to sources, is at its peak. As per the constitutional provision, the ordinances need to be endorsed by the Parliament within 60 days of the next parliamentary session. The differences between the chairman duo during the appointment of the House Speaker had intensified while Party Vice Chairman Bamdev Gautam was nominated for the National Assembly member. Senior leaders Jhalnath Khanal and Madhav Kumar Nepal had stood by Dahal in both the decisions. The factions affiliated with Prime Minister Oli would not be able to attain majority support in the Parliamentary Party along with the party's Secretariat, Standing Committee and Central Committee if Dahal and Nepal form a separate faction. Meanwhile, intense differences have now emerged within the ruling Nepal Communist Party regarding the ordinances issued by the government yesterday. During the meeting held at the Prime Minister's residence yesterday evening, the leaders of both the former Maoist and UML factions were divided over the ordinance. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli defended the ordinance, citing it as a necessary step at this juncture. He was seconded by Ishwar Pokhrel, Rambahadur Thapa and Party General Secretary Vishnu Paudel. However, Executive Chairman of the ruling party Pushpakamal Dahal, Senior Leader Jhalnath Khanal and Party Spokesperson Narayan Kazi Shrestha expressed discontent towards the government's decision, citing that the ordinance was introduced without even a single consultation within the party. They were of the view that it was uncalled for on the part of the government to come up with the ordinance to ease party split at a time when the entire nation should have been united on the efforts to contain the risk of coronavirus outbreak in the country. The government has warned hospitals not to refuse treatment of patients with chronic and severe diseases in the pretext of the nationwide lockdown. In its daily press meet yesterday, the Ministry of Health and population said that both private and government hospitals cannot shy away from their responsibility of attending to every patient, citing that health facilities fall under the highly essential services. The minister has urged all the hospitals to attend to the patients with cancer, kidney ailments, respiratory ailments and pregnancy-related issues, among others. The ministry has also warned of taking action against hospitals refusing treatment to patients in any pretext. Meanwhile, according to the ministry, no new coronavirus cases has been detected in the country in the PCR test conducted in the past 2 days, other than the 31 individuals detected with the virus so far. The last person detected with the novel coronavirus was a 65-year-old man who was tested at Kosi Hospital in Biratnagar on the 18th of April. Many impoverished and marginalized communities from the country's eastern and western regions have gathered in Butwal recently. There are over 10,000 families depending on daily wages for their daily meals residing at the banks of Tinau River. As the nationwide lockdown is about to complete a month, they have run out of food stock. The families dependent on daily wages and income are now more worried about starvation rather than the coronavirus contraction.
अब पहिला त दुईटा बुढाबुढीसँगै काममा हिँडिन्थ्यो, लेबर काम गरिन्थ्यो, खाइन्थ्यो। अब अहिले त घरमा केही पनि छैन, सानो तिरपालले बारे घरमा बस्नु परेछ। छोराछोरी 7-7 छन्, अब छोराछोरीले लेउ खाना भन्छन्, के दिनु। पहिला दिएको रात त बाडेको रात त भ्याइयो, अब साँझबाट त केही पनि छैन, के दिनु छोराछोरीलाई। मैले पहिला सिलाइ काम गर्थे, अहिले फेरि म पनि पेट भन्छ, त्यो कारणले काम गर्न सकेको छैन। यति लामो लकडाउन पर्यो अनि खाना खर्च पनि छैन। अनि उजेलो भयो, छोराछोरी भोक लाग्यो भन्छ, गाह्रो छ, समस्या छ। नगरपालिकाबाट राज आएको थियो अलिअलि, अनि त्यो पनि सिद्धिसक्यो, जीविका चलाउन गाह्रो छ। कसरी खानुहुन्छ त? त्यही हो, कहिले अब राज आउँछ भन्दै कुर्नु पर्छ।
बिहानमा माग्न गएको थिएँ है, जम्मा चाहिँ 100 रुपियाँ पाइएको थियो मिसिहाल्नु, आधा किलो जस्तो चामल पाइएछ भित्र छ हैन। म त्यसैले गुजारा चलाउँछु मिस मागेर, अब चाहिँ माग्न पनि नपाइने गरेर मिस अब चाहिँ
डरले हल्की मरिन्छ कि जस्तो भइसक्यो। अब खाने पिने लाउने भन्ने त परै जाओस्, अब 2 पैसाको त खाँचो भन्नै परेन। अब कसरी चल्ने हो भन्ने त्यो त थाहै छैन।
In families, the Butwal sub-metropolis had distributed relief materials to 6,800 families 2 weeks ago, while most of the families have already consumed the government's relief package that was provided 2 weeks ago. These families are more concerned about starvation than the risk of COVID-19 infection. There is a need for all tiers of government to pay attention to such a dire situation at the earliest. The test for novel coronavirus in the far western region have now turned sluggish, though the screening had recently been expedited in the region. The government had earlier shown indifference towards carrying the test for COVID-19 infections in the far west in the pretext of the lack of equipment. The tests were expedited soon after 5 individuals in the region tested positive for coronavirus. However, both the collection of samples and testing have been slowed down recently, citing the scarcity of health workers.
क्वारेन्टाइन लाई जाँच भइसकेपछि अब हामी चाहिँ गाउँमा चाहिँ रहेका विदेशबाट आएकाहरुको चाहिँ सबैको गर्ने चाहिँ नीति भए हुनाले अब चाहिँ फेज वाइज रूपमा चाहिँ हुन्छ। अलिकति हजुरले भने जस्तै अलिकति स्लो चाहिँ हो।
Although experts have been stressing on the need of more than 150,000 tests to have the actual picture of the coronavirus infection in the country, only 8,694 samples have been tested so far. This has kept the chances of the virus outbreak in the country intact. The screening through the rapid diagnostic test kits in the far western region also have remained highly inadequate.
ती दुवै परीक्षणको गति र दायरामा चाहिँ बढाउनु पर्ने आवश्यकता देखिएको छ र अर्को कुरा के हो भन्दाखेरि हामी कहाँ जो हामीसँग कोभिडसँग सम्बन्धित भएका बिरामीहरू जति आएका छन् ती व्यक्तिहरूमा लक्षणहरू नभएका व्यक्तिहरू बढी भेटिएका छन् त्यो यो अर्को चुनौतीको कुरा हो किन भन्दाखेरि समुदाय स्तरमा यस्तो लक्षण नदेखेका थुप्रै व्यक्तिहरू हुन सक्छन् र त्यसको लागि पनि यो परीक्षणको गति र दायरा बढाउन तत्काल बढाउनको विकल्प छैन र यसो गरिएन भने भविष्यमा यसबाट ठूलो दुर्घटना हुन सक्छ।
The government had deployed 48 medical professionals in the region after determining the far western region as a high-risk zone for the coronavirus outbreak. A majority of the medical professionals, however, have been confined to the district headquarters themselves. The government's sluggishness and indifference in this regard has continued the risk of a community transmission of the novel coronavirus in the far western region. The government has started sending the individuals kept in quarantine in suspicion of contracting coronavirus merely based on the rapid diagnostic test. 14 individuals tested positive for the novel coronavirus even after clearing the rapid diagnostic test earlier. Experts thus are of the view that sending home the individuals based on the rapid test alone would risk the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Altogether, 8,414 individuals across the country have undergone the PCR test so far. Likewise, 25,148 have undergone the rapid diagnostic test as of yet. According to doctors, the rapid diagnostic tests are not enough to determine the coronavirus infection. However, hundreds of individuals in quarantine testing negative for rapid test are being sent home recently, increasing the risk of the virus outbreak. Meanwhile, Pokhara Metropolis has started feeding the families belonging to daily wage workers and from the economically disadvantaged, as they have been deprived of food for not having their daily income due to the nationwide lockdown. Pokhara Metropolis has made the arrangements of providing morning and evening meals to the ones deprived of food and relief materials. According to the spokesperson of Pokhara Metropolis, Dhana Bahadur Nepali, the Metropolis has been providing meals to the underprivileged and impoverished people who have come to their contact in ward number 5, 7 and 8 to the place they are staying. Different local organizations have supported the effort of the Metropolis in this regard. And it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why has the government issued ordinance to make party split easier at this juncture? And your options are: option A, sign of instability; option B, insecure mentality; and option C, unnecessary. The voting for the question is on tab in AWS. Select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And those were our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVS Day. Good day and stay safe.